What do you see when you look at this picture? Do you see yourself in it? You should. But why? This picture helps us to visualize the beautiful description of Jehovah found at Isaiah 40, verse 11.
Ronald Curzan opens this month's JW broadcasting by inviting you to picture yourself as a sheep. But not any sheep, a sheep that can't even walk and has to be carried by Jehovah, aka this religion. This is how this and every other cult wants its followers to feel, both sheep-like, so you can follow the flock blindly, and helpless, allowing you to be carried by your own indoctrination, especially in times of great stress.
Look again at the picture. Is it hard for you to see yourself as a lamb nestled in the bosom of our shepherd Jehovah? We know that many of you, dear brothers and sisters, are coping with very difficult challenges day after day in this cruel, wicked world. Such challenges can make it difficult for you to feel like a lamb, safe and secure in the bosom of our shepherd. Please be assured that Jehovah is fully aware of every challenge you face.
Yeah, he's just not gonna do anything about it. That's the big contradiction that you have to believe in as a Jehovah's Witness. You have to believe that Jehovah cares about you and wants to help you, but also that he very seldom does that. This allows you to remain in this state where you are always looking for signs and help from Jehovah, who doesn't help you regularly. He helps you more on a luck-based system for some reason. That is where religion, and especially cults like this one, thrive in times of desperation.
Well, what valley of deep shadow are you currently going through? Are you feeling overwhelmed with trying to provide for your family's needs? Dealing with a serious health issue such as cancer? Exhausted because you're caring for your mate or a parent with dementia? Trying to cope with the death of a loved one? Battling feelings of loneliness, worthlessness, or anxiety? Or facing persecution? It's so difficult to remain positive when facing the darkest days of our life. But there's a bright side. What is that? Jehovah is aware of the mountain-like obstacles that cause you to feel low, as if you were in a valley of deep shadow. He not only sees your pain, but he's ready to come to your rescue, lift you up with his strong arms, and embrace you like that lamb in the picture.
This is one of the few indoctrination methods used by this cult that's still effective, to wedge themselves in every moment of anxiety of their members. This makes members want to go for them in search of a solution that the religion will never give them. And that can only be good for the religion. After all, Jehovah helps those who help the cult. If Jehovah isn't helping you, you might not be doing enough for the cult. So the longer you remain miserable, the longer you'll try your best in the cult to get a blessing from Jehovah. Jehovah's Witnesses weaponize misery, so you double down on your efforts for the cult very effectively. As Ronald's about to show us, it begins with telling you to obey this religion.
Jehovah leads us to grassy pastures and tranquil waters. The Hebrew word rendered pastures can mean pleasant place. If we humbly follow our shepherd, he will lead us to a pleasant place where we can feel secure and have peace of mind, even when we're going through a valley of deep shadow. How does Jehovah lead us? By means of his word, he teaches us how to make wise decisions that lead to paths of righteousness, a life course that is pleasing to him and brings us happiness. He sets a course and a pace that we're able to follow, never expecting us to do more than we're able. Jehovah also leads us by means of under-shepherds, the elders, who tenderly care for us spiritually, emotionally, and physically, so that we will lack nothing.
That's a very effective indoctrination technique used by Jehovah's Witnesses to keep members indoctrinated and isolated in the cult. Not only are you to follow what you read in the Bible according to jw.org, but you need to obey the elders as if they were placed there to help you by Jehovah himself. Because they have. That's why, in many cases of crimes, especially sexual ones, members will go to the elders first instead of the police. And when that happens, they will likely never end up informing the police, as demonstrated during the Australian Royal Commission. However, Robert Curzan is going to double down on this, coupled with a bit of old-fashioned isolationism and fear-mongering.
Our loving shepherd stands ready to use his figurative rod and staff to warn and protect us from predators seeking to harm us, especially from Satan, who in the Bible is portrayed as a vicious lion and a cunning serpent. Jehovah also has appointed elders in the congregation to warn and protect us from harmful influences and from taking a dangerous path in this wicked world.
Yep, elders will protect you from taking a dangerous path into the world if you ever, say, get a better job that might not allow you to be as active in the cult, or if you want to do a worldly thing like divorce your abusive husband to marry someone else. Elders will protect you from all that evil stuff. Don't you even worry about that. That's the isolationism that Jehovah's Witnesses are so good at. And one of the main things that makes this religion a cult.
How does Jehovah protect us? He protects us as a group or flock. Satan will never succeed in wiping Jehovah's sheep from the earth. Jehovah also protects each sheep individually. How? Most important, he protects us spiritually. The Draw Close to Jehovah book explains, our loving God protects us from spiritual harm by equipping us with what we need in order to endure trials and to safeguard our relationship with Him. Jehovah thus works to preserve our life, not just for a few short years, but for eternity. How reassuring that Jehovah makes sure that we have everything we need so that we will in effect lack nothing.
Don't you love when they quote from their own publications to justify their isolationist views? This is what you'll see in this and any other cult based on religious texts. Almost every time their isolationist, supremacist, narcissistic view of themselves is based on the leader's interpretation of the holy text and not on the holy text itself. That's not to say the Bible is immune to bad or problematic views, it isn't, but that might help you better understand why some groups radicalize, like this one, while other religious groups remain chill. However, there is one more thing that shepherds do for their sheep that fits right at home with this cult: feeding their sheep. While shepherds don't actually do this, they just take sheep to where food is, it's not like facts are going to stop this religion from saying, oh, you mean like spiritual food?
How does Jehovah feed us? Through the faithful and discreet slave, Jehovah gives us timely publications as well as rich spiritual programs at our meetings, assemblies, conventions, JW broadcasting, governing body updates, along with encouraging songs and videos, and so much more. Truly, the slave is giving us food at the proper time, what we need when we need it. We certainly lack nothing spiritually. What do you need to do? Show your appreciation for the food the slave provides by eating it and never being fussy, picky, or selective in your eating habits. Remember, the Bible and Bible-based publications are ways that Jehovah speaks to us, in effect saying, this is the way, walk in it, my precious sheep.
And of course, we finally get to the latest thing this cult is after more than anything: your unequivocal obedience to the governing body directly. After all, who else would give you all this spiritual food that you're told you need to consume on a daily basis? Don't mind the fact that the current governing body actually has little to do with writing the publications and speeches and all of that. They have a writing department for that. But who else could guide this religion into this amazing cult with increasingly boring videos and... wait, what else has the current governing body done again? Oh yeah, the only other thing they've done is to shift the attention right to them, so Jehovah's Witnesses worship them personally, as they are about to do right now.
Isn't this a beautiful picture of a shepherd with his sheep? It's adorned the governing body conference room since the 1970s. It's a visual reminder of the importance of their work as shepherds. Brother Loesch, a member of the governing body since 1994, recently explained what this inspiring painting has meant to him throughout the decades. Enjoy the following video segment.
This painting in the governing body conference room shows a shepherd and his sheep, and the shepherd is caring for the sheep, and they feel obviously comfortable and protected. At the governing body meeting, we sometimes look at the picture and we try to apply what is implied in the painting to our work with the congregations and the worldwide flock.
You get where this is going. This is nothing but Garrett Loesch, member of the governing body, going into masturbatory detail on how this picture makes him feel. It's not like he has a particular insight on the Bible or anything. This is just an old man telling you why he likes the equivalent of a good morning gift. And why are you supposed to care? Well, because Garrett is a member of the governing body, of course. This is all just so Jehovah's Witnesses can feel comforted directly by who they believe is one of the 9 shepherds Jesus has to guide his people in this world today, the governing body.
How reassuring it is to know that our loving shepherds on the governing body take their responsibility to lead, protect, and feed you, me, and all of Jehovah's precious sheep very seriously. May we all continue to humbly and obediently follow their lead.
It is insane to me that now seemingly every indoctrination video has to relate to the governing body, who often aren't there to explain the Bible to you or anything. They're just there to remind you of who they are and how much you're supposed to obey them like sheep. But that's all for now. There are still some juicy bits to the broadcast, so subscribe and consider supporting me like these handsome peeps right here, who will get to see the next broadcasting videos either the day this video comes out or the day after, right before everybody else. However, if you don't support me for whatever reason, you'll still get to see them just in a few more days. Like, don't even worry about it.